I love how I go into like a game show host. One of these men will be going on a date with you tomorrow night. Hey everybody, my name's Anthony Resinello. I'm a social and relationship coach living in Los Angeles. You've just found yourself on a site of the internet called First Date. First Date's a show where I put influencers, celebrities, YouTubers, musicians, whoever on a date. Today I'm coaching Jenny, a YouTuber who focuses on fashion and lifestyle on her channel Where I Live. Today's big focus is when you're on a date, how to lead in the interaction, even if the other person feels a little bit held back. And before I show you the 3 guys that Jenny has to choose between for who she wants to go on a date with, I'm releasing a membership for my channel. It's $5 a month and it gives you all of the extra footage in each episode of First Date. There are hours of extra content in each episode that just doesn't make it into the video, but it's so valuable for people wanting to learn social skills, relationships, dating. Click the link below and you'll get access to that, as well as group video chat in the Discord, discounts on merch and courses, and a lot more to come soon. Guys, overall, this is what helps me make better videos on my channel. So I'm so thankful for everybody that signs up. You know who you are. But without further ado, let's swipe on some dudes. You ready for them?
Yeah.
I'm actually a little scared right now. Your first guy, Miss Jenny, is Javon.
Okay.
Javon is a full-time nurse, part-time fitness instructor.
Oh, okay.
An entire laundromat could take care of everything with just that right there. Swipe it. Cardi. He's a musician. He makes what he likes to call future fun, and he has a lot of fun doing it.
Nice. Wait, is there another one for him?
There's another one. Go for it.
I just want to see it. Cute.
Yeah. So that's
it's so different. I can't tell if he's a little too pretty for me because I'm a little messy. When I think about my scraggly hair next to his, I'm like, are you gonna tell me to put gel in my hair? Like,
I don't think he's gonna be like that.
Okay.
But the last one, you may swipe. His name is Uğur. Uğur is a Turkish man. He just moved from Turkey to New York, and when he was in Turkey, he was a DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You really gave me like a whole gambit of
that's what I want.
Of men. I think that I feel like we would have the most in common.
Yeah.
It feels like we're in similar worlds. So I'm saying I'm saying yes to the dress. We're going on a hot date with Cardi.
Yeah, baby, that's the Cardi Meister.
Yeah, she knows who I am, which is weird.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the weirdest part about this, because normally if I'm going on a date, I know who I'm gonna meet up with. So I guess that's where I'm like more nervous or whatever.
Is this good? You said in one of your videos where it was one of the past dates where you were like, if you're not your like good version of yourself within the first like few minutes you're with someone, it's really hard to like tap into who you want to be. And that really resonated with me. Sometimes I'm not able to get the feedback from them, whether that's like a nod, a laugh, or things like that, that you're like, oh yeah, we're hitting it off. Like I'll just end up talking about very small talk. And when I'm in those modes, it's just like my personality is not really present. I'm just like I'm just trying to keep the conversation going.
Okay, just from hearing what you just said, there's things that I think are super important in being able to make it feel more comfortable. One, get vulnerable from the start. And this worked really well for me. Little things that I might get nervous about, I make sure to say them and put them out there. Because one, it gets it out to the world, so it's like, oh, he didn't tease me about it, oh, I feel better. But then it actually enables them to express their vulnerabilities more and be like, okay, she's not like this cold, because he'll probably be thinking the same thing.
Just that reminder of like, yeah, that's what makes people connect and feel good is vulnerability. That's when you jive. When you're both able to just be like, this me, and then you're both people and you're like, oh yeah, we're both just people, and like that's it.
We're all good. Thank you so much.
Let me know if you need something to...
Totally.
Thank you so much. Do you want another shot? I'm just kidding.
No, I'm already drunk. I'm already fucked up.
I'm not stressed. I feel good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I'm a little nervy, of course. How's it going?
Good.
Good. I'm Jenny.
Party.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How's it going?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's like a weird time in life.
Yeah.
Are you from here?
No, I'm from Colorado, but I've lived here for 5 years. Where are you from?
I'm from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you live at home still?
Yeah, right now. I mean, I was living...
Well, not still. Did you go to school here?
I have gone to school here. I went to Baruch, which is...
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I forgot my question, but
Oh, you said...
School's cool. But what do you do on... Yeah, YouTube, yeah.
I do, well, it started out, I feel like, mostly like sustainable fashion, that kind of stuff, and now I do, I feel like, a mix of like lifestyle, like some vlogging and like, yes, I loved it. It was a little awkward, and it just felt like there were a lot of drops in the convo.
Yeah.
It seemed like he felt weird, and then I felt kind of weird.
Because like traditionally, for dating,
yeah,
the guy should lead the vibe.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want whoever is feeling whatever to just lead themselves and see where you guys meet in the middle. If he doesn't take a lead and then you don't take a lead, what happens? You guys are at a standstill. You're at a stalemate.
I just felt like he wasn't giving me much beyond like the questions I would ask.
So a really great social skill is asking a question, they give a monosyllabic type of answer. Instead of asking another question, answer the question the way you'd want him to answer it. So start expressing yourself saying like, oh, so like, what do you think of this? And he'll say, oh, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. You say, well, I think blah, 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 blah. And then you could kind of like ask the question again to him in a different way. And then he'll go, oh, okay, I get what she's saying. I get the vibe.
In my history, it's like, I don't say things or tell stories until I'm asked. Like I usually, it's hard for me to just come out and be about something random, where some people are really good at just being like, saying exactly what's on their mind.
I don't agree with you. When I met you yesterday, you were just going, girl.
That's because you were very open, and that's what I said. If people are very, like, if their energy feels open, I'm like, can match it. But if someone's like, oh, he seems a little shelled up, and I'm like, which way's best to crack you? Because I like want to find the correct way, so it just takes me a second to see which way I can climb in there.
Do you see like how you're acting
See,
right now?
I know, and then
your
I'm like,
vibe right now is like fucking on fire. I love it. That's okay, but like when you go back in, like,
but it'll
bring that out and
but watch it just shift in like 2 seconds. Like I mean it. How was your bathroom trip?
My pee was exquisite. It's actually magical in there. Have you ever been in those bathrooms?
No,
I've never been in
I do avoid it.
All right, so what Jenny did right there is exactly what I was hoping she would do. I was trying to get her feeling herself again, remembering that playful side of her, so when she goes in, she could bring that into the interaction with Cardi, which is exactly what she did. So if you notice, she brought in kind of like a British accent, and how did he respond? In the same way. This is textbook improv. Humans already know how to do improv. It's just playing. It's just literally playing with each other. But being able to get yourself in that playful headspace is the actual skill to learn. Do you see how much more engaged Cardi is compared to when they first met? He's so much more lively just in these few seconds right here. And hopefully they can keep this dynamic going for the rest of the date and build that up until there's some more sexual chemistry going on, which is what happens on a good date when two people first meet. What tends to happen on first dates is what happened at the beginning. It starts out as an interview. Now, this is the most common pitfall that people find themselves in on a first date. They interview each other, and that, my friends, is boring as What do you care about when you meet somebody? You want to get a feel for the person, and they want to get a feel for you. So focus on having fun right from the start. You get to see if you two have that same chemistry, have that same playfulness. Then when you lock into each other's vibe, you could start asking those logistical questions later on, after you've established that playful dynamic. Anyway, great job, Jenny. Let's see how Cardi feels about this date so far. What do you think of her?
She's cute. She's definitely my type, which is weird that you scope that out, and I'm excited to go skating.
That was fun.
That was actually really fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
I always like, it's one of those things that I think I dread, but then it's always more fun than I expect it to be.
Yeah, you can go in and I'll take your temperatures afterwards. You can go out if you have to.
Okay.
I think you should sit on that side and I'll just better. Well, maybe this is better.
I guess it's supposed to.
This is probably better.
Okay.
Yeah, these are cards. They're cool.
Okay,
Look
yeah,
at
but
them. I was immediately intrigued because I thought they were playing cards.
Is it like Cards Against Humanity?
I don't know, but we'll find out. Which 3 objects would you save first if your house caught on fire?
It's hard.
that, I would choose... I have like a few vintage objects that mean a lot to me that I really like.
Okay, like what?
It was just a vase I thrifted, but it has whales on it, and it's just really beautiful, and I love it. And it's like I'll never re-find it if I broke it, and so I would maybe choose that. I don't know why it means a lot to me, but I just really like it.
Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, jeez, sorry.
Bottoms up.
I know, like this is, are we gonna be okay after this? Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
All right, I'm about to get super nitpicky right here, but I love social skills. I love picking stuff apart, and I have people on video to analyze, so why not get a little bit deep here? It's obvious to see that today's topic of the episode is definitely leading, taking the lead, especially from a woman's perspective. Now, if you've seen my episodes, you definitely know that I talk about this all the time. I hate that women have been taught to be basically the follower in the dynamic between men and women. Now, does this mean that I want women to be the leaders and men to be the slaves or something like that? No, not at all. I just want everybody to lead themselves, and I want the two people to meet in the middle. I want sometimes the woman to lead. I want sometimes the man to lead, or whoever is on a date with each other, or whoever is meeting each other. It doesn't even have to be a date. And honestly, I just use the word lead as a way to describe being purposeful in an interaction. Leading, I don't even like that word. It sounds so like, I'm the master and you are the follower. Like, ugh. But it's a good shorthand word for just having purpose in an interaction. And what is the purpose in this interaction? Well, these are two people that are looking to see if they like each other. And if you've listened to my audiobook, which you can get in the description, by the way, when I talk about purpose, I don't mean half-assed purpose. I mean full on purpose. Everything you're doing is contributing to achieving that purpose. Now listen, Jenny and Cardi only have a couple hours together. After that, they could very well never see each other again. So while they're together, they might as well give all of their attention towards each other. Now, on one hand, it's plain to see, listen, Cardi, he's feeling anxious, he's feeling nervous, there's a camera on him, he's on a date with a girl that basically matches everything he's looking for, like he said earlier, and he wants this to go well. And we all know, if you want something really badly to go well, you're going to mind your P's and Q's, you're gonna make sure that everything you do is not wrong. Basically, you don't wanna mess anything up. But what does that do? That cuts out all of the fun in the interaction. And that's what Cardi's actually doing. He's cutting out all of the fun side of himself that I know he has on the inside, just to make sure that he comes off as a nice gentleman, a nice boy. Now on Jenny's side, as she talked about, if she's not feeling the vibe, if the vibe from the other person is not engaged, she's not going to engage either. And that's exactly what's happening. If you can check out Jenny's body language, and most importantly, her eye contact, and eye contact is so important when it comes to being engaged. Notice how at this moment, in this freaking igloo, this Christmas igloo, Jenny is basically making the least amount of eye contact possible. Why? Because there are a couple of reasons. First of all, she feels awkward about the situation. Cardi is not being fully engaged, fully himself in this interaction, and that's making Jenny feel awkward, which is making her retreat into her mind, and it's also telling her, listen, I kind of already made up my mind about this guy. I don't need to work any further to see if this is going to work out. And I get that. That makes complete sense. But again, I'm getting really deep into this. I really want to analyze social skills and how interactions work to help you optimize your ability to start relationships with the right people. Most people think that unwavering eye contact is weird, creepy, even rude. It's actually the opposite. I'll break it down for you. If you are having an interaction with a person, the best mindset to take is the person that is in front of me at any given moment is the most important person in my life. Now, if you can agree to that, well, showing your attention, your undying attention to that person at every given moment is necessary in proving that to them. That is what being engaged is all about. That is what being engaged means. And what does that actually do? That will enable the other person to feel more loved, to feel more important, to feel more confident, to feel more secure in the interaction, which will enable them to open up more to you. Guys, I want you to remember this. It's so important. That's why I'm talking about it right here. The more love, the more support, the more security, the more attention you could give to the person in front of you, that enables them to feel more confident. And guess what? It starts that positivity cycle. They'll give more positivity and happiness and confidence and fun to you, and then you'll give it right back to them, building back and forth. But if you start an interaction off and you notice that person's feeling awkward, you react to them in an awkward way, well, what's gonna happen? It's going to continue more and more awkward. Now, Jenny did a really great job earlier of starting that kind of positivity engine going, but what started happening is Cardi would start pulling back a little bit, and because if you're not used to doing this, it takes a lot of effort. Jenny started getting a little bit drained by Cardi's unengaged energy, and she stopped kind of giving that full attention on him. And listen, that's totally understandable. This is a highly unusual situation right here, but it's also an opportunity to show you a good example of what being engaged looks like and doesn't look like. And here, these are two people that are not being engaged with each other. So I was getting the vibe here that it was not gonna work out. Now, before I go, I just wanna remind you of that idea of you being an explorer and each person is an island. And for me personally, every person I meet, I go, I know you have a treasure somewhere in your island. I know it's there and I'm going to find it. If I haven't yet, that is my responsibility. I put it on myself to bring that out in you. And you could say, it's not a lot of work, Anthony. Yeah, that is a lot of work, but guess what? If you wanna have the best social skills, if you want the best relationships in your life, this is how you have to think. This is how I want you to go about meeting people. This is what I mean by taking the lead. Anyway, Cardi surprises us a little bit later on in this date. I don't want you to miss that, so let's watch.
Well, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. It's good. Checks out. You hate it. Something's not quite clicking in a ease, like it's not super easy. It's nice, and I feel like but I do feel like I'm pulling a little bit, and that feels hard. So it's hard for me to really be like super invested because I can't really tell if he wants to like keep talking or not. Someone needs to show me that they're interested, or else I'm like, I don't really know. Once we get started on a topic, it's like nice and we're flowing for a second, but then it drops off a lot and it doesn't feel like it's building.
She's way more interesting than like most of the people that I talk to be honest. She's got like things that she wants to do, and she's got like places she wants to be, but she also knows who she is, and I feel like I'd want to know where she wants to go from here. I don't feel like there's any barriers I'm putting up to seeing her and trying to express and like be myself in front of her or anything like that. So I feel like I'm low energy and I don't want to look like an idiot on YouTube.
A lot less. And then, because of the recording. Thank you.
So how are you doing? How do you feel about this?
I feel good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was fun. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I think you're really kind and very thoughtful.
I have a lot of empathy for people going out, especially girls going out on dates and stuff, just because in my industry it's notorious for sexual harassment, right?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people can feel uncomfortable in dates or like meeting new people and stuff. So one of my main goals when I meet new people is just try to like make them feel comfortable. So
well, you really did a great job. It was really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know what the YouTube dating landscape is like, but
I don't know. I've never dated a YouTuber, but definitely not going out with Jake Paul anytime soon. Well, it was so nice.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah. Get home safe.
You too.
Thanks for coming.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, it was really nice meeting you. Okay. Bye.
I noticed you didn't get her number.
I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do. Are you not? I don't know.
This
okay.
is a date.
Yeah.
So are you ever gonna see her again?
I have no idea. I don't know what the. I'm like super frazzled right now. I don't know if that was like weird or presumptuous or something. I'd love to go and see her again. I just didn't know if that's it.
She's right over there.
Okay, so I have to go to her now and like do the romantic thing.
Do whatever you want.
Okay.
You gotta do whatever you can.
I'm so bad at this.
How are you feeling in this moment?
Dumb. It wasn't goodbye because I didn't get your number.
Oh.
Yeah.
phone?
I do have my phone. Would you be comfortable giving me your number?
Yeah, I'll give you my number.
Okay.
Of course.
Wow, I'm so embarrassed.
Why?
I don't know.
Don't be embarrassed.
Okay.
But you don't have to ask for my number.
No, I want your number. I didn't know what we're supposed to do with the.
That's fair.
I was like,
didn't
what?
know either.
I was like, okay, bye. Like,
yeah.
that was the important question. Okay, here. That's your thing.
There you go.
Okay, so now you can text me when you get home.
Okay, perfect. See, now you'll know. Now you can sleep safe.
Bye for real?
Okay.
She wanted to give me her number, and that was cool. So
Nice.
I hope she will be receptive and see me again. I just wanted to make sure that she felt like comfortable with me and knowing like I had good intentions and everything like that. And if I were to try and like make a move, I would probably wait till the second date or something, just because it feels more natural like that.
You know, I'm at the point in my life where I'm not, like, I don't want to force something that's not there.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to waste my time or anyone else's.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like a romantic connection.
Yeah.
And so that's where I feel where I'm just like, I just can already tell that we're like different people.
Yeah.
And like, I would maybe need someone who's a little more outgoing. That's the only reason I would say no to a second date. Not because he wasn't like really great, but I am just like, I don't want to just like date casually.
Well, the good thing is that like he wasn't a fuckboy outgoing type, right?
Yeah.
Because that was your kind of initial thing.
Yeah,
like,
it was
oh,
like,
he's just probably just this fuckboy model,
but
Lower
he
East
was
Side
so
boy.
nice. Yeah, he was so
But
nice.
he was the exact opposite.
Literally the exact opposite.
Yeah.
But it just like wasn't, the sexual, like, it's not like he was gonna
Ravish you.
Yeah.
Like, grab you and
like
make.
that's something I kind of need. I don't need a manly man. Like I'm not like really into that either. But I just need like a little more like not so hands off, you know?
Well, maybe next time Uber.
In the beginning when you pulled me aside and was like, you gotta just like bring your own energy and make sure that you do that, and you can only account for that, is very true and something I used to really not be able to do.
I never want you to feel like you have to kind of like lower your vibe for a dude. Lower your vibe for anybody that you might feel has a higher authority than you.
Sometimes when someone else has a higher energy than me and I don't feel like I can match it, I get really uncomfortable and I shut down.
Yes.
And so that's why I get afraid to be that person for anyone else, because I know that feeling of like when someone takes up too much space.
So there are people that are just overbearing, but those people are also not cognizant of how that person's feeling. So you could come in with that leading vibe while making sure that the interaction's still 50-50. You know, so like you could lead in a way where you're pulling things out of him. Like, no, come on, really tell me. What do you think? What did you think about that? No, I feel like you're hiding something over there. Come on. Keep thinking about it like this. I want to pull them up to my level instead of showing that I'm bigger than them.
That's a good way to
you know?
put it. Yeah, totally.
Do you have any advice for anyone else that comes on first date? Like, do you have any, like, you are now a veteran.